almost shifting. We got pizza, moving boxes, or else Checkers beats us. Life is rough here in the depths of space. If shit set comes a-knocking, we shoot them in the face. Gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, hail cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo. Alright, I got another verse. I hear a boy coming right in my instant, and it just asks me why I blew them all away. But I feel so great now with Sovereign Cargonia. Every round we stand our ground. Gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, hail cargonia, gun cargo, 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 hail cargonia, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo.
Get back to work.
Well. Here we are. Once again, I'm in my comfy clothes because we are about to solve a mystery. So let me turn on the game audio and let me know if that music is too loud, because it seems a little loud on my end, and now I gotta figure out how to get it to show. There we go. Settings, audio. I do love this smooth jazz. This is good. I already love this music. So why are we playing this game? Well, I alluded to it on the Eiffel Tower stream, and I know I've mentioned it more than a couple of times, just around. One of my favorite games of all time is Return of the Obra Dinn, a game in which you are an insurance investigator doing a completely normal job of figuring out how everyone died on a sailing ship and figuring out who gets what payouts. Spoiler alert, you use a magic pocket watch to investigate the moments of everyone's death and piece the story together. And you are only showed the snippets of the story through these deaths. you are never told the full story. You can only imply what happened through the conversations around the moments of people's deaths. And you have to verify identities and how they died. In this game, the Roottrees are dead. What happened? The plane crashed last night near Pittsburgh. The only passengers were Carl Roottree, his wife Brenda, and their 3 daughters known as the Roottree sisters. Carl was the president of the Roottree Candy Company. It's not clear who will succeed him. So far, local police are not sure what caused the crash. So, there's a mystery between what happened in the plane crash, how everyone is related to each other, and who gets what according to the wills. And from what I have seen of the gameplay of this is that exact Obra Dinn itch. Yes, I killed them all. This is that exact Obra Dinn itch that I've been looking for. So, warning, heavy spoilers. It's not often that I tell you to stop watching and go play a game yourself. But if you love investigative mystery journeys and want to play a game like the Obra Dinn, this is the game for you. We're going to be using 56K dial-up internet to do our research. That's about as much of this game as I know. So, please, if you do not want this game spoiled, look away. I do not want this game spoiled. So if you have played this, I don't know, it's dial-up internet. It's the OG internet. It's the internet where if mom gets on the phone, it messes up your internet kind of shit. I know, right? This is the late edition. Anyway, if you want to play this game for yourself, and I highly encourage you to, click away now. If you have played this game or just don't care, please continue watching, and please do not spoil this for me. If I ask for help, I will ask for help, and at that point, you have permission to gently nudge me. But I want to share this journey with you. And I'm eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Let's go. New game. Oh no. Go produce food, Grimos. Oh.
The plane that crashed last night just outside of Pittsburgh is now known to have been the private jet of the Roottrees Corporation. Local aviation authorities have speculated, based on the pilot's final communication, that the winter storm and heavy winds played a significant role in the crash. On board were multiple family members, including corporate president Carl Roottree and his daughters, the Roottrees sisters, best known for their fashion lines and modeling careers. There were no survivors. Again, for those of you just joining us, the Roottrees are dead.
So apparently the Roottrees are...
I know it's late, but I'm guessing you've seen the news. In addition to dealing with the grief, the Roottrees company's lawyers are scrambling.
I love this stupid Flash aesthetic that they have going for this. Zirig, spoilers are happening. So if you know this game, please don't spoil it for me. If you want to play this game, I encourage you to play it. But you can only experience a game like this once, probably. Or you can only experience a game like this for the first time one time. But I love the dark silhouette. I love this. This entire aesthetic I absolutely love.
Everything's about to change. Anyone proven to be a blood relative is about to get much richer. I'm here to ensure everyone is accounted for.
How is her
I've heard
voice,
you're an
by the way?
expert at sorting out complicated family trees.
So I need to turn down the
genealogy
voice?
genie, as it were. I'm going to give you a quick test. Pass, and I can promise you the job of a lifetime.
Okay. Complete the Roottrees sisters. Siblings are in birth order from oldest to youngest. Examine any evidence. Search the internet for clues. Fill in the names. Fill in the occupations. Fill in the photos. Sleuth! And eventually, we're gonna have an entire conspiracy board. So, evidence. The got milk picture. So we click on there, and now we have their pictures. The person who hired you gave you this photo, with a note attached. This was taken during the shoot for the Roottrees Sisters Got Milk ad. I've tracked down a test photo from before they painted the fake mustaches on, which I thought would be more appropriate considering the circumstances. The ad's copy reads, also, how's the music compared to my voice? I'm just going to turn that down a little bit for my sanity. But that smooth jazz is really good. You might recognize the faces from our magazine you're reading. Or you might recognize our name from the candy bar you're eating. Being a root tree is a full-time job, but so is growing up. And that's why the calcium found in milk is so important. Plus, you can't make chocolate without it. Alright. And a list of names. This list was provided to you by the mysterious person who showed up at your door. You'll need it to fill in the family tree. And we've got a lot of names. Rafferty LaRue. No, it's a weird, like, the picture is like a weird kind of like retouched AI picture. Anyway, here's a really neat thing that we can do. So, we've got Candy, Carly, Gwendolyn, Gwen, all these root trees right here. We can highlight this. And we can copy. And we can go to our notebook. Welcome to your notepad. On each page, other than this one, you can jot down important information, relationships, marital status, blah, blah. Title pages can be renamed to make it easier, highlighting any text. Family members, siblings, often referred to as brothers and sisters, cousins, third cousins, second cousins. Distant cousins, okay. American school terms, K-12. Schools produce yearbooks, which are albums. Ooh, that's going to be important. So page 1, root tree. I love that this game, the giant teeth, I know, right? Root tree ladies. Female names. Save note. And we edit note. Okay, boom. So we just copy pasted a list of names, and then we can highlight there, and we can copy again. Then we can go in here and make thoughts. You might be able to see the middle of one's brain through the nostrils. Men. David Kellogg, oh god. And we have a lot of Miracle the Third, oh Jesus. A lot of men. So we're gonna say root tree guys. And we're gonna come here. Those are Rafferty's. Gonna highlight all of these, copy, paste, save note. So now we have our house. Oh god. If that isn't a 98 aesthetic. And we've got the notorious Montjoys. Eunice Montjoy. Oh god. What is going on here? Love the mystery comics. Then we've got a duck for hints. Currently playing music, and boom, boom, boom. All right, so let's go to the main. Let's go to the main mechanic, which is the computer. Welcome to the information superhighway. Thanks for purchasing. Oh, Timmy, I'm going to both respect my. I'm going to respect your privacy by knocking, but assert my authority as your parent by coming in anyway. Oh, God. Fairly Odd Parents was funny. Thank you for purchasing a new Cashew PC. Your PC is equipped with a 56K modem, which is fast enough to access any site on the World Wide Web, even with those with high-resolution images. If you find anything interesting, be sure to print it out with your included high-end color laser printer, or burn a music CD to listen to later. You're not a sane person who uses a talking duck to work out who is who? Ah, you could... Oh, that's fun. I can make... I'd never put that together, Hidden Boss. I just put that together. I can find new music. That's fun. If you want to revisit a search result, be sure to use Netscrape's Explorer's new history feature. Happy surfing, and remember, Cashew PCs are delicious. Cashew PCs are inedible. Do not try to eat your computer. All right. So, this is fun. We can pull up our evidence book alongside. We can multi-window this. So I'm gonna make a new page and call it Root Tree Sisters, and we are going to evidence, right? The list of names. So we are going to go to the internet and type Roottrees sisters. Lots of obituaries that focus on the Roottrees sisters' modeling careers. You also come across an unofficial Roottrees fan site. Seemingly curated by a teenager. It's neon pink with purple text. Neon pink background with purple text. Guys, is that not 98 aesthetic perfectly? And hard to read unless you highlight the words. It strains my eyes just to think about. The young webmaster writes, Raina is the most famous because she's the oldest. Okay. Raina is oldest. And got married to TMS. Edit. TMS. But Riley is the smart one. Rose is the middle, like me. That means, by process of elimination, Riley is the youngest. You might think they are rich just because they are models, but their dad is also the president of the candy company, and their mom, Brenda, is a fashion designer. They do the modeling for her brand Root. I eat Roottrees candy all the time. My favorite are Maple Crisps. And try to dress in plaid Root clothes like Riley does in most of the posters. Let's edit Riley. Dresses in plaid. Someday, I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. Rose has pierced ears. The website author continues to talk about her own life and what she likes about Root. Fashion lines, but none of it is relevant. Okay, that Root period is crazy. We're gonna go back to the top. So we're gonna look up Brianna Roottrees. Nothing was found. Okay. Rose. Ah, okay. Rose is not as popular as her older sister Rihanna, but still very well known. I love how she is not as popular as Rihanna, but nothing came up when I Googled Rihanna. Most of the... Oh, and look at that. Spider search. You can literally search right from your notes. That's so good. Most of the time, they're lumped together as the Roottrees sisters. Unfortunately, the results for Rose by herself doesn't lead to anything different than when searching for the sisters together. What can't you find? Can't find what you're looking for? If someone isn't in the list of names that the employer provided, doing a deeper dive, what you learn about them will often lead to additional discoveries. A good research tip is to make a note of any brand names, book, product lines, or magazines that you don't recognize and search for them. These searches will sometimes help directly, and if they don't, you'll usually get additional context. Riley. Okay, so we also have another name, TMS. So let's look at TMS. TMS is a common abbreviation for the early 90s teen heartthrob Tommy Mark Sheridan. So let's copy that. His first credited role as Thomas Sheridan was on a soap opera called Time Marches Onward. He skyrocketed popularity after starring his role on the sitcom Brother Trouble. Since the end of Brother Trouble, he has been on the cover of tabloids for his supposed drug use, and more recently his relationship with Rihanna Roottrees. After a short engagement, they were married in '97 when she was only 19 and he was 23. Okay, nothing really there. So let's try root dot. Root period. The period is part of the name. Is a clothing company. They make clothes for children from toddlers to teens. Although their website is down, most likely due to increased web traffic, you find countless retail sites attempting to advertise their clothes towards the target audience. One of them has this to say: you spy the Roottrees sisters looking hella fly on catalogs, magazines, and posters. Now you too can be like Riley, Rose, and Rihanna. Rihanna. Goddamn. RH, man. You also come across a website from a collector of clothing catalogs. Apparently, Root has released 2 catalogs per year since 1984. And Raina appeared in almost all of them. There's only one that the website master considers a collector's items enough to mention. It seems that Brenda Roottrees, the sister's mother and Root's head designer, appeared on one cover holding her daughter Rose in 1985. The site says that is the only time her daughter was ever listed by her birth name, Carly Roottrees. Ooh, we've got some information. Carly is Rose. Okay, so let's go back to the conspiracy board. So we know that, actually, let's go to the picture. So let's take a look at this picture and see what we can infer. Hey, look at this person right here wearing plaid. I wonder if that's the person that likes to wear plaid. Hey, this lady right here has a ring. I wonder if she's married. And oh, look over here. She's the only one with pierced ears. we only see one right here and one right here. Neither of those are pierced, but she has pierced ears. I think we can piece this together. So we know that one of them is married to a TMS, a Thomas Sheridan, and that's Rihanna. What is her role? Occupation? Look at this. We've got a lot of occupations. Only thing we can really see is that the Roottrees sisters have all been models. So I think we're just going to fill this in. And then we're going to flip back to my evidence, my notebook, go back to the conspiracy board. Rose. So remember, if we go Rose, there's nobody by this name in the list. Oh no. I guess her real name is Carly. And that means that Riley is the youngest. So now pictures. So we remember that she had a wedding ring. Riley likes plaid. And Rose has pierced ears. We've also unlocked the following off-shell entry, Sheridan Thomas. Booyah.
Sorry to test you, but I had to be sure you could use the internet. Some folks refuse to get with the times.
What's Jen doing with the
Safe to say, you're
internet?
The reward for untangling the family tree is substantial. Life-changing, even. But here's the catch. The Roottrees go way, way back. The family tree's a bit daunting. Most people freak out the first time they see the whole thing. But I'm sure you'll be fine. The man who started it was particular about whom he considered family. For your purposes, you only need his direct blood relatives. Anyone related only by marriage is optional, but filling them in can lead to useful discoveries. Lastly, you now have access to some unique websites, plus a list of notable Roottrees.
That she has her own monetary interest in this.
Notable people are easy to find via your search engine, and marked with stars on the family tree. I'm off for now. Carl Roottree had a lot in his office. I'll look for anything useful. I'll return once you identify 6 more blood relatives.
Look,
Sorry,
lady.
One last thing. This might
Do you have a
sound
key
odd,
to my
but if anyone else
place?
claiming to represent Roottrees reaches out, I'd appreciate you not mentioning I was here.
I don't even know who you
Thank
are,
you,
lady.
and good luck.
Three relatives to lock in. Okay. Top secret. You can open this envelope after the whole family tree has been filled in. It has 2 names that must be typed in manually. The clues are obscure, have been intentionally hidden in the past, and may even require some leaps of logic. Try to keep out for any inconsistencies. Ooh. Family trees use surnames from birth, even if the person changed their last name after marriage. Always use a person's most recent occupation. Genealogy for dunces. All right. Let's get chunkin'. All right, so we got some new evidence. So, Roottrees sisters and their parents died after a crash in 98. Next evening, a shadowy figure appeared at your door, said lawyers were looking to sort out the family tree. Quick test, notable Roottrees is easiest to place. They would return in time to took out 6. Okay, story so far. Notable Roottrees. Let's break out the notebook. Let's make a new one. Notable people. Control C, Control V. Ah, damn it. I'm really going to have to do it like this. Oh, man. Oh, the jank. Edit. Solved. An entry on the family tree that belongs to someone on this list will be marked with a star. I mean, thank you for giving me that information. I really do appreciate those hints, but it just kind of feels weird. I don't know. And we have one more piece of information. Okay. So root tree, 5 pieces. Cool chocolate, so strawberry, blue raspberry, power plum, awesome apple. There's 5 flavors because the original inventor had 5 kids. Maybe that's why kids still love them. Radical new flavors because it's no longer the 1920s. What's an elderberry anyway? Advertisement for 5 pieces aimed at kids from a magazine, Teen Blast. I'm just going to call this Loose Threads. Five pieces. Teen Blast magazine. The current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. Not same. Candy 5P, not same. Flavors. What else? 5 kids. Founded 1920s. And so here we go. Intuition. You've been in this line of work a long time. So long, in fact, you've developed a 6th sense for how useful your evidence can be. The numbers in the magnifying glass refer to how many clues are connected to a specific piece of evidence. The higher the number, the more there is to find. At the start of your search, the notable list sets off alarm bells. A list of famous people that you can search for, you can find via search engine. That's pretty rare to get something that useful. Best take advantage of it. As you progress, these numbers will change. Whenever you find more evidence or lock in family members, new discoveries will be added to the list and old evidence will become less useful. Trust your intuition. If a piece of evidence seems too good to be true, take a closer look at the people or phrases it mentions. Often, the most satisfying revelation comes from retracing a path you thought was fully explored, armed with a new perspective. Sometimes the reason certain evidence has such a high value is because it can lead to finding more evidence. You may be missing a huge piece of the puzzle. So I suspect eventually we're going to have to look at all of these flavors. But for right now, let's go to the internet and let's look up Carl Roottrees. Carl Roottrees. Died in a recent plane crash along with his wife, Brenda. And their daughters, the Roottrees sisters. He was the president of the Roottrees Candy Company as well as the clothing company Roots, which he co-founded with his wife. There's a short press release from the candy company released today. It is with a heavy heart that we mourn the loss of Carl, Brenda, and the sisters, and the other employees that perished in the terrible tragedy. The entire Roottrees family is in shock and requesting privacy at this time. As the head of our company, Carl was an incredible man and an unmatched leader. Filling his absence will be difficult and may take considerable time. In the interim, we hope that you join us in looking back fondly on Carl and the family's triumphs and accomplishments. They go on to list on some of the accomplishments. One of them seems highly relevant to your search, like his great-grandfather. Before he was Watchman of the Year. So there was also another thing really quick. We could search periodicals. We need to figure out what let's try Roots. We need a magazine or newspaper name. Okay. Let's search. What is this Watchman of the Year? New periodical, Business Watch. Okay. Is a magazine focused on company CEOs and the economy. They've been around for over 100 years in one form or another and will often write about major changes in management of famous companies. Every year they offer an award to a prominent businessman who has furthered the field. They call this Watchman of the Year. You find through a few searches that 2 Roottrees have been featured as Watchmen of the Year. Elias and Carl Roottrees are watchmen. Elias Roottrees and Carl Roottrees. Business Watch does not host any online archives on any site you can find via Spider Church, though you may be able to find individual articles and issues through your periodical search. So let's go back to here. Search periodicals. Business Watch. Search. Carl, 1987. Voted Watchman in 87 for his work with Roots. Cover and summary of the article has been added to your evidence. Ooh, we have a picture. Business Watch. Oopsie. Also, our ongoing coverage of who's in the corporate. It's supposed to be who's who. Game. Watchman of the Year issue. Okay. I like that tie. Carl Roottrees was voted Watchman of the Year in 87, and the photo of here appears on the cover. According to the cover, Business Watch is the magazine for and about corporate leaders, and has ongoing coverage of who's who in the corporate world. Carl was chosen not for his work at Roottrees Candy, but rather the clothing company Roots. There's a brief history. Before they married, Carl's wife Brenda was a fashion consultant. When Raina was born, Brenda retired to become a stay-at-home mother. Why am I putting his wife and stay-at-home mom? Looking for a creative outlet, she spent any free time she had at the sewing machine. Raina's new clothes were a hit with other parents, including Carl's cousin, Jim Roottrees. A notable singer, who has a young daughter around the same age as Raina. Word spread. By 82, Brenda's parents were being copied by other brands. Her patterns were being copied by other brands. Seeing the demand, Carl and his second cousin, Ernie Jr. This is a treasure trove of information right here. Who had just become president of Roottrees at the time. President of Roottrees before Carl? Ooh, spearheaded Root. Other blood relatives who have a say in the company's finances refused to fund anything other than candy, so Carl personally spent his entire inheritance to bankroll the clothing company. When the profits began to appear, the rest of the family changed their tune. They repaid his investment, and now Root exists under the umbrella of the candy company, and they all benefit. Backstabbing sons of bitches. Per tradition, or perhaps superstition, new clothes always debuted the first way the way the first ones always did. Raina became their catalog's cover model. As she grew, the product line expanded to older kids as well. Her younger sisters were then recruited to show off the baby clothes. Carl was voted Watchman of the Year primarily for his personal gamble and ensuing payoff. So I think the evidence we could have gotten was his wife was a stay-at-home mom, the cousin, and Ernie. So let's go to the conspiracy board and focus in on the sisters. So we know that this is Carl, and that his wife is Brenda. But who's Brenda White? Probably his wife. Let's double check. Stumble across auction for a black and blue dress that's a Brenda White original. The auction describes it as a vintage dress from before Brenda became Brenda Roottrees and started designing clothes for Root. The white and gold dress itself doesn't seem relevant to your search. Black and blue, white and gold, the world may never know. So Brenda White. Brenda White. Okay, that's all the information we have. So, edit, white. Also note, where was it? Maiden names. So we can now say that Brenda White is the name. So we have a picture for Carl. What's his occupation? Well, he was the president. Oh wow, there are 5 presidents. We can assume that the most recent president is the 5th president. I think we can be reasonable about that. So we are going to, in loose threads, I'm going to move these up to loose threads. And so, a brother a cousin, Jim, who has a daughter the same age. So cousin would be parents, aunts and uncles, kids. So Jim is obviously not this guy. Could be this guy. Could also be this guy. It's not this guy because they do not have any children. Second cousin is, I believe, we go up to grandparents. And then we start going there. Things? I don't know. Let's go back to the notebook. Notable root trees. So, I am confident in saying we are done with Carl. So how are you guys finding this? I'm having fun with this. Elias root tree. Oh, we got a picture. Famous picture of Elias and Gwyneth Roottrees was taken in 1909 after they founded the Roottrees Candy Company, but before it was a success. What we found on the internet, it seems difficult to find any site about Elias or Gwyneth that isn't accompanied by this picture. Elias and Gwyneth are the notable root trees listed in your evidence. They'll be marked by a star. So boom and boom, we got some pictures. Go to the internet. Elias and how did we spell that? Gwyneth. All right. Root tree founded 1909. Save. Founder and first president. You find what is essentially a propaganda site about him creating the Roottrees Candy Company. At the top, there's a picture of him and his wife Gwyneth. The picture has been added to evidence. Also, a biography section that has some additional information. Credited for creating 5 pieces popular maple candy. from the farm he inherited by marrying his wife, only produced syrup. After 5 pieces became wildly successful, Elias spent his time and energy on cementing his reputation as a family man. He is quoted on the site saying, "Blood is thicker than syrup, and that any child linked by blood to me shall be linked by blood to my legacy." The site enthusiastically claims he made good on that promise, but offers no additional detail. A few more quotes about Elias from a book called Family Man, The Roottrees Legacy by Bess Williams. We have a public library search. So, I probably am going to need this book at some time. I do love that they've included a notebook on here so I can share my madness with you all. Said that they are, to say they are biased is an understatement. Below that, long list of achievements and awards. One stands out. Like his great-grandson Carl, Elias was voted Watchman of the Year. Watchman of the Year. Let's look for Gwyneth. You find information from a site, the First Anderson. The First Anderson Maple Farm. Where is my big old jug of liquid? Photo has been added to your evidence. Before marrying Elias, Gwyneth Roottree was Gwyneth Anderson. No siblings. So as the oldest sister, she was to inherit it. No brothers. No brothers. She was to inherit the maple farm so long as she married. Before Elias took over, the farm only produced syrup. It was supposedly Elias's idea to create candy. Their success was not immediate, but they decided to combine the maple with other flavors, led to 5 pieces, still found in stores to this day. More water. That's right, Night Owl. The quote is actually... the quote is actually, the blood of the womb, or the blood of the covenant, is thicker than the water of the womb. Meaning, like in the context, like the vows and connections that you have sworn to, that you have sworn, your word is more important than family connections. So the commonly used in militaries or things like that, blood brothers. Your blood brother, the oath you made to your blood brother, your battle buddies, whatever, is more important than the flimsy connection made to someone by birth. Not saying that family isn't important, but honor your promises and your oaths. Keep your word, kind of shit. Another one that I remember being weird is customer is always right. There's a second half to that sentence. In matters of taste. The customer is always right in matters of taste. Meaning, I don't care if you think... I don't care if I think that this suit is ugly. If you think that it looks really, really cool, I'm gonna sell it to you. The Roottrees Candy Company expanded well beyond the original farm and is preserved as a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction. According to their website, there's still daily demonstrations, educational tours that show off many of the turn-of-the-century appliances that Gwyneth would have used as a housewife in the early 1990s. Ooh, okay. We need to go back to the conspiracy board. Brenda. Oh, okay. Brenda, I didn't have a occupation for. Okay, so that is Elias. Bless me. And she is a housewife. Nothing wrong with that. Oh. Discrepancy. The article we found on Elias says that it was founded in 1909. But the conspiracy board says 1908. So unknown name. No, we know this. Elias. There was a couple of other Eliases, but I'm going to assume that those are children, and Elias has only ever been referred to as Elias. And this is Gwyneth Anderson. And occupation, President the First. Haha! Victory! Booyah. Okay. So we've got a light discrepancy. What threads can we pull on now? I want to get through these notables first. So let's go and look at Gwen. We got a picture. Oh, hello. Photo is a widely circulated photo of Gwen Roottrees. You've seen it on multiple websites about old films, so she's an actress. Will be marked with a chart. Actress. Find some information on a website about old films that are not yet available on VHS. The site is not very well organized, and the search is broken, but you can get to individual pages from your search engine. God, if that is not 1998 coded, I do not know what is. Gwen Roottrees is a somewhat well-known actress who was active in the 1950s. Often appeared in tabloids, especially around the time of her divorce. Her biggest role was in a minor hit movie, Guys Like Us. Oh, I think we can also just highlight this. Ooh! Oh! Okay. Cool. Flop of Christmas Mission. Okay, that oh. That is going to be funny. That is going to be so much more fun. Okay. I like this. And then if I find a piece of evidence and just pull it around like that. Granddaughter of Elias. She shouldn't have been named Roottrees, but her father... She shouldn't have been named Roottrees, but her father took her mother's famous name, which was quite rare in those days. So... Oh, we have some information about this. So... She is a granddaughter. She is a granddaughter of Elias. So she is on this tier. She's on this tier. And we know that the mom is a Roottrees. And the dad is not. So I am going to assume, yes, divorced. Split up. What is this? Guardian, adoption, or otherwise. So these people divorced, then she got remarried and adopted, or no, oh, I see. These two people had this child who then divorced, and this person adopted them when they remarried. Interesting. So, as one of the only people that we know of who is divorced and is a grandchild of Elias, so grandchild, I'm saying that this is Gwen. And she is actor. No idea who she's married to. Let's add divorce. Come across mentions of a marriage to Wild Bill Williams. Divorced before the birth of her second child. Let's go back to the, no, let's search Wild Bill. Leading man in some non-notable movies in the 50s. Appears in an adventure movie called Fortune Favors the Grave, which has yet to be released for home audiences. We don't know any information about the film. Known for his good looks and off-screen romances, specifically with blondes. He was married 4 different times to 4 different actresses. There's a famous Hollywood rumor that he even approached Marilyn Monroe at a party, and she was already aware of his reputation. Wild Bill grew up in Paris. Okay. That's some neat information. So, what is it? Williams. Huh. Ooh. That's not his real name. That is not his real name. This is interesting. Okay. Okay, so this is fun. Wild Bill Williams. I don't know. Wait, her father? Yes. Okay, the father. Yes, the father married in. There's a 53 film about two secretaries cut their hair short and pose like businessmen to get ahead in life. So one of them falls in love with their client and hilarity ensues. Starring Gwen Roottrees, Leslie Florence, and Harrison Lane. Oh, I can't delete those notes. Page called Flops is a war movie about World War I, released in '85, that received poor reviews and lost studio money. Had a role as a soldier's wife who wrote him letters from home. Find no additional no record of the events happening. Okay. Search. Co-star and Guys Like Us, not much relevant. It doesn't even have a trivia section. Search. Television actor, major roles in Guys Like Us. Some other films, largest role in Guys Like Us was the villain in The Western Frontiers. Due to popularity, studio brought band that played the villain's twin brother. This time as a hero joining the protagonist. Had no connection to Harrison, seems to be a dead end. Okay. That's a wild frickin' hair to give me. That is a wild frickin' hair to give me. And then just drop it like that. I'm looking for a Bill or a William. And there's no one. What a name right there, Quartich. All right, we're moving on. Edit. Gwen solved, but who is Wild Bill? Loose threads. Wild Bill Williams. Not real name.
Burp.
Excuse me. Okay, we're looking for red root tree, loose threads. That was in a periodical or something. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we're just going to go to the notebook, go to the internet. The Intarnet. And we're gonna spider search. About strange historical facts. Okay, add page. Alonius herring root tree. Red. Was appointed judge and politician who earned his nickname ironically because he was the ambassador to Ireland for only about 6 days. He served what some people contend the shortest term in history. After a few days he was appointed, he was heard disparaging his position and the Irish people. Then tried to run for state senate. Claimed to be related to the Roottrees Candy Company in a Root newspaper ad, but it came out that the last name was merely a coincidence and he was defeated by a landslide. Not a family member. Hey guys, This is funny. So how are people's usually like referred to, like when you say someone and their nickname all in one breath? You say first name, nickname, middle, last, right? Aloysius Red Herring Roottree. I am deleting this page. There's probably, like... Yeah. I'm gonna keep this around. This is funny. Yeah. Okay, that's clever. That is clever. Notable. Red herring solved. That's fun. That's fun. This game just introduced curveballs. Again, hello everybody. All 20 of you. This game is called The Roottrees Are Dead. This is a genealogy mystery game. Very simple on the surface, very 1998 coded. Dial-up internet, horrible websites, the works, you know. If you loved the Oberdin, The Return of the Oberdin, you are going to love this game. If this game is tickling your itch, go play the Oberdin. Cannot recommend the Oberdin enough. If you wish to play this game, please stop watching, go play it for yourself. I do not want to spoil this any more than I have for you. That said, I am going to continue playing. Please do not spoil for me. We got Jim Roottree. I recognize that name. That's the cousin of Carl. So he's going to be on this line. And he has a daughter the same age as Raina. So that means either this person or this person. No, it's this person because... Uh-oh. James is another name for Jim. Jim is short for James, right? And that's a male name. I suspect it's going to be James. But this is a notable root tree. Jim Roottree is a notable root tree. Oh, or is that pictures of him or something? What? What is up with what the? Huh, interesting. Fun. No idea what these small question marks are for. You'll be able to add bonus photos. Oh, I see. And because I haven't verified more people. Anyway, I know that this is Jim because he is a notable person and he has a daughter, or at least children. This person is also a cousin and also has children. but is not notable. So I know that this person is Jim Roottrees, and I can probably just say musician. Anyway, let's go to the internet. I'm going to do an internet. James Roottrees. Look at that. Jim Roottrees. Who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond with his wife Diamond LaRue. According to many sources, you'll find considered a one-hit wonder due to the disco song "Rollin' Down the City." It's now in my evidence folder. Fighter search. Oh my god. As seen in MMM, only the great-grandson of Elias Roottrees could make disco this sweet. Peter. Oh, that's clever. This is clever. I like this. This is good. Good on you, developers. Good on you, developers. For highlighting the artists. Anyway.
We're rolling on down to the sea.
Okay. Barely a top hit for a few weeks in
Saturday night and you're quite a sight. The world might be burning, but I'm feeling right.
liner notes it satirizes how part of the society was content to remain indifferent to the economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East, unless pop culture tricked them into caring. Somewhat ironically, listeners didn't seem to pay attention to the lyrics enough to trick them into caring. Most of its play came from roller discos. Because it was a product at the time, it doesn't get much play anymore, even on stations that play oldies. Maybe why you never heard of it. Image is from an auction of sealed copies, stickers, and was credited to.
On wheels we glide with you by my side. Inflation is rising and so is our pride. Pick on fate, make love not hate. They fight overseas, but we'd rather skate. Guys all rush to say that I'm pretty. Ladies blush and find me so.
Okay, this is low-key a bop.
Tonight, what a pity. We're rolling on down to the city.
Diamond LaRue. James. I feel good with that.
Nations at large are hopeless. The bankers in charge are all clowns. The party's
Okay, let's go back to the internet.
haunted.
Although Jim writes the majority of the songs and plays guitar,
Guys all rush to say that
and often sings, Diamond considered by fans the band's lead singer.
I'm so witty. They're out of luck tonight. What a pity. We're
Band has never had another hit, but has its fans who refer to themselves as Diamond's Dazzlers. The rest of the music is more folksy and acoustic. Jim and Diamond continued to release music through the 80s and early 90s. Other albums you find are Cherry Tree and Sounds of Laughter. Became a bit of a recluse and hasn't made a public appearance. Alright. Let's search. Cherry Tree album. The Cherry Tree is an album by Jim and Diamond, and one of the songs is called Sun. The website you found on it does not have a full version, but you managed to find a short preview of the song. Jim sings the following. There blazed the spark of light that ever brightly shone, from her starting days imparting wisdom to conquer life unknown. Though someday she'd depart, in part I'd never be alone. In my heart I'll always be the son of.
There blazed a spark of light that ever brightly shone, from her starting days imparting wisdom to conquer life.
Music Commerce website claims to sell the album, but it's sold out at the moment. You do find a short sample of one of the songs, Sun, added to evidence.
In my heart I'll always be the son.
Album released in '89. Can't ever find a picture of the cover. Doesn't appear to have been very successful. Reviews seem middling even from fans. Basic liner notes exist on a Jim Roottrees fan page. States that the lyrics and guitar are credited Jim. Vocals are credited to Diamond. Alright. I think we have a lot of information. Alright, fine. If you're gonna be like that. So, notable... Solved and wife. And now let's go for Lauren. Author Lauren Roottrees. Distant relative of the Roottrees sisters. Distant, so second or third, something like that, right? Second cousins share the same great-grandparents, but not the same grandparents. People that share the same great-great-grandparents, but not the same great-grandparents. Wild. Is known for her book, A Life Between Wars. Highlight. According to the website about famous authors in the early 1960s, Lauren released a few romance novels under her married name, Lauren Rafferty, with a little fanfare. So she married a Rafferty. Okay. Ramshackle, what's your dumb idea? Willie, what are you grating? When her publisher learned she had been keeping diaries about her famous family, they insisted she release them under her original name, Lauren Roottrees, take advantage of her family's notoriety. A selection of diary entries released in 60... Oh, that's great. It's all the great-great-grandparents. Oh, shit. Released in 65 as A Life Between Wars. Spans from the untimely death of her husband in World War II to coping with post-war world as young widows, as well as perspective in changing times and socialites all the way into the Vietnam. Husband Rafferty died. While the content is not considered particularly relevant to modern audiences, it found a new life as an exercise in high school English class to show the evolution in writing style and for a look into life in previous generations. After the success of her diaries, her publisher re-released her romance novels under the name Lauren Roottrees. This included Romance in the Court, which gained popularity. She followed the re-release by writing up 2 new sequels, creating what fans refer to as the Court Jester series. Find no recent details about Lauren. She's listed as retired. So, let's try Rafferty. Okay, that just brings us to the same page. But I have a list of names in evidence. So, I am going to look in men for Rafferty. So we have Chris, Clark, and Jacob. So I am just going to highlight you. Go back to the internet and search. Search. Nope. Okay. So that was useless. No, we're gonna keep that there anyway. Let's search for this. Let's go to the library. Author name, book title. No. Control C. Control C. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Oh my god. We have 7 pieces of evidence. Oh my god. Seems you've hit the jackpot here. This is a book occasionally taught in schools. You can find a hardcover edition for students that has a full-page, high-quality pictures in it. A summary of the contents of the book, photos, as well as some particular relevant entries to the diary, and added to evidence. Okay. Okay. Labeled the next generation. I see pictures, I take pictures. Diary contains labels, pictures. This is the caption, an attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5 pieces photo with our generation. For old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop in the old days, but I was outvoted by my brothers. They insisted the 4 of us stand together, so we clumped in the middle and left everyone filter in behind and in front of us. The only one too good to make an appearance was Gwen. Gwen is not in this picture. Okay. Okay. This is the generation that they're talking about. The author is a grandchild. The author is a grandchild. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4? I think that might be it. Okay, so Eli looks a lot like Elias. Eli looks a lot like Elias. So this kind of face. This blonde right here, this is Elias. This is Eli. I am 95% sure that this is the Eli that she is referring to. Also, this is Lauren. I guarantee you, because the 4 clumped up in the middle, this is Lauren. Notable Roottrees. This is Lauren. Oh, God, that felt good.
You're on a roll. I'll try to keep that momentum going. Carl's office was a mess, thanks to some burst pipes. But I unearthed a photo from a 1970s Rootree reunion. I also found some important-looking papers. You've traced 9 blood relatives so far. I'll have more to share after you find 9 more.
Okay. I want to finish this Lauren. I want to finish this Lauren thread, because this felt really, really good. So we know that one of these is Eli. And we know that this is a unknown Rafferty man. I hope this does not turn. I hope this does not turn into a which of these Chinese top men is wearing a certain shoe situation from the Oberden. So for right now, unknown male. And this is... We know who this is. We know who this is. I know... This is Wild Bill. But I have no idea why he's not there. Also... Never mind. Let's go back to the evidence. Only one too good to make an appearance was Gwen. Grandma insisted we include Sam, even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. I also didn't think it fair Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child still holds grudges after all these years. I think that might be Miracle. That might be Miracle Jr. I don't know. Maybe. Huh. Okay. So this, and this came, new info. Where was that? Sam. Miracle, technically a 5-piece. Holds a grudge. Alright. Let's go back to evidence. And life between wars. Here we go. So let's go back over here, and we have this as an alternate photo, and this as this guy's photo. That's cool. So we could change... We can't change the main photo. Excerpts from the Diary of a Roottrees. Captures the evolution and perspective from adolescence to adulthood. Butler County Times. Man, I wish I knew my army. I wish I knew my army. I don't know what 3 stripes are. Our notes and observations you made while skimming through Lauren Roottrees' diary pages in A Life Between was in a notable evidence trail you marked with a star. Sergeant. Okay, thank you. Hello.
Hello.
A book was published in 1965 and consists of diary entries from 40 to 65. Most important event, how much of the diary and Lauren's thoughts revolve around, was the loss of her husband, Jacob. Jacob. Highlight. Delete. Jacob Rafferty. Boom. Feels good. We're going to come back to that. Jacob died in the final months of World War II while Lauren was pregnant. This left her to raise their son, Clark. Lauren never remarried and only had 1 child. Clark Rafferty, because she was married and took on the Rafferty name. She was married, took on the Rafferty name, but she published under Roottrees. That feels good. That feels so good. While skimming the pages of the diary, gleans the following information. Was the granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth on her father's side. So this is a Roottrees man. Because, well, obviously all of these are... It passes on the Roottrees name. Her mother's family was called the Cossels, but she hardly ever mentions them. Let's go search. Cossel Sarah. I'm just going to say Cossel Sarah. Sarah Cossel. Very good. Feels good, my man. Her father, who she always referred to as Pop, was the head lawyer for the Roottrees Candy Company and helped write a legal document called the Clanced Trust. Okay, so not the grandfather, but I still suspect that that's who that is. Feels good, my man. Complaints. Entry complaints from Lauren Roottrees' diary written 53. Seems physically on one of Lauren family's Gwen, who is a notable Roottrees. It seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwen, as an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that's to be expected to watch, that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. During the summer, I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot. Where is Gwen? Aunt Margot. Margot. Okay. Let's... Margolite. Ooh. Are you guys enjoying this? Like hearing me like ramble about this. Like I'm finding this fun, and this is like I find this super interesting. I hope that she would be the sister I never had, and that I'd do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit in with the two of them. What a mess. But she just complained. To her, I was the lucky cousin. Now she's off living that glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. I must admit, seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Her visage stares at me, even now from my coffee table. She gets to be in Starlet and tell tales of how glamorous, how she gallivants across the world, kissing the likes of Harrison Lane and Wild Bill Williams. She's the first Roottrees woman to be anything other than a housewife. And I am jealous. If I were not a single mother, I would make my own way in this world. But I'm off topic. A girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me. And now, though I've been undoubtedly burdened by terrible tragedy, I am also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. I can raise a child without worry, unlike countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightly scoff, just like I do at Gwen. I want to do a quick search. Starlet. What is Starlet? Is a magazine that started with the colorization of film and went until 64. Generally, it was a tabloid that focused on famous. Didn't go much into tabloid. Gwen. Ooh. Starlet. Often Starlet. Most mentions were around her divorce, 58, with Wild Bill Williams. Gossip, speculative, and full of tabloid stereotypes. Some of it focuses on the fact that she was announced her divorce. She also announced she was pregnant again. Also mentions rumor that Wild Bill has multiple affairs and left her heartbroken. There's also an interview from her earlier in the mid-57. When she was asked about her last name, she answered, "Power of my name is undeniable. My grandfather constantly preached the importance of family names and honoring them. My father decided to bless me with a famous name. There's nothing wrong with Cornwall." Cornwall father. But Roottrees has power. My husband similarly goes by Wild Bill. It's an infamous name he repurposed for himself because he didn't have the benefit of being born with a famous one. But Wild combined with the alliteration of Williams is fairly memorable. Although we've relocated to Paris, I know that your readers love to keep up with my husband, so I consider this Starlet exclusive about both of us. Wild Bill and I have a child on the way, and we're sticking to the Roottrees for the last name, not Williams. But we also plan to lean into alliteration. That's how we'll honor both our family names with our next generation. Alliterative name for second child. Let's search for Wild Bill. Oh! Knew it! Knew it! Knew it! Walter Forsythe. Oh god, this is some feels good. This is some feels good. First one mentions first role under his real name, Walter Forsythe. Second is an interview, although it doesn't mention her by name. You determine from the context he's talking about Gwen. Apologies, ladies, I'm actually taken. Early this year, I did a friend a favor. He was directing a war movie and asked me to play a small part. When you know it, son of a bitch cut me from the picture. I'm just ribbing, it wasn't his fault. Apparently the studio didn't want to pay for a star of my caliber. I got the last laugh though, I met someone. Spent most of the film crying, she was playing a soldier's wife. But even through the tears, she was incredible. I know I tend to have a reputation, but this one's true love. I only have eyes for her. This is for Christmas Mission. They met on Christmas Mission. Apparently studio I've only advised for her. Ironically, the third rumor is that his divorce from Gwen was due to multiple affairs, including another actress. An American reader on Vacation Paris claims to have overheard Wild Bill and Gwen arguing in public while she was holding a baby and visibly pregnant. Not long after, Gwen announced they was divorcing. Now she was pregnant again, giving rumors credibility. The movies... Oh, fuck. Ed, holy shit. I didn't realize that. Buddy. Oh, that's gonna be a crazy, that's gonna be crazy. Control C. Copy. Okay, let's go back to spider search. Let's go. It's Walter. Find some information on an old site that are not yet organized and search is broken. Gal in the Gang. Directed by Bruce Throckmorton. What a name. In a low budget comedy with no other information. Okay. Let's go back to Conspiracy Board. Unknown male. No, I know who this is. Walter. And they're keeping Roottrees for the second child. So, Roottrees. So an alliterative name. That means... Christ. So there are two alliterative names. Robert Roottrees, Ronald Roottrees. So Robert. Son of a... bitch. Or Ronald. What was up with Cornwall? Ah, yes. I have had this going on my laptop for 2 hours now, but since we're shorthanded by 2 people, I haven't been able to pop in, chat, and bug Doc. Hey, what's up, guys? Doc, I need to learn how to make pizza crust. We're gonna invent Cajun pizza. Okay. Okay. Cornwall. Linus Cornwall. Okay. That feels good. Let's take a look at the so pretty much every other root tree woman was a housewife. So everyone before her, if they're a woman, we can probably just assume housewife, unless otherwise told. Which is probably going to be like 3 or 4 people up here. That actually sounds really good. Let's go back to the book. Okay. So I think the 2 pieces of evidence was Aunt Margot and this starlet. Ooh, I am so happy that I got that starlet. Dynasty. 6 pieces of information. Woof. I'm going to, I'm actually going to start a new page titled Life Between Notes. Dynasty, written in 58, focuses on the day her grandfather decided to step down as president and had a meeting to demand a successor. Wish I had been a fly on that wall today. Clancy told me that everyone got quite heated. Granddad was furious. None of his sons would take over as president. So none of his sons are president. But that's what he gets for holding on to it so long. With architects, preachers, and lawyers, nobody's got time for candy. So with the 5 pieces refusing to step up, it came down to us next gens. Pop argued at length that the company should stay within our branch of the family. Since we still have the root tree name, I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who volunteered. Instead, it ended up going to Zach. Even though his surname doesn't match the candy, he's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. I'm not sure how that's relevant to running a company, but Granddad had always had very particular views when it came to his bloodline. I asked Clancy if he ever came up If it ever came up that a woman could take over, after all, Angie's older than Zach. And I'm oldest of us all. But he just laughed. Never forget the cuss words Pop used when he told Ma it wouldn't go to us. Mother, ever quick-witted, at least with catty remarks, countered, maybe they wanted it to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the products. This is Zach. Okay. So, ended up going to Zach. Surname doesn't match. He's the firstborn son of the firstborn five-piece. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. I asked Clancy if it never came up that a woman could take over. Angie is older than Zach, and I'm oldest of us all. So is this Zach and this is Angie? Interesting. Siblings are in birth order. Let's go to the internet really quick. List of names. Clancy Edward, Clancy Roottrees Jr., and then Angie. No, let's look for Zach. Zach Wilson? Zachariah Morden? Angie. Angelina Morden. Okay. Zach Morden, Angelina Morden. What's in there?
Nothing.
Let me see it.
Oh, it's a Lego box. We're not going to use it. It's a Lego box.
Let me see it.
And you can use the bathroom upstairs. All your stuff I put at the edge of my bed. Okay?
Okay. There you go. Yeah, that's trash. Morden. Okay. Okay. Eloise. Huh. Fun. Okay. Lena and Zach Morden. Okay. Cool. I'm not sure how I was supposed to put that together, but I put it together anyway. So this is Angelina, or Angelica, Angie. And this is Zach Morden. He is president the second, and he looks like that. Therefore, I know that this is another Morden. Caroline, that's a female name, lady. This is James. Almost most definitely. Therefore, these two are also Mordens down here. We're going to have Caroline and Gwendolyn. And I have no idea who is who. Don't know what her occupation is. But since we know that the Roottree family name does not pass down through this line, we know that this is a female Roottree. Therefore, we have a good guess at her being a housewife. Because, if we recall, Gwen, over here, the actress, was the first Roottree female to not be a housewife. What thread are we pulling on still? Architects, preachers, and lawyers. At one point, I should look up 5 pieces. Sam. The previous generation learned that Elias Roottrie had given into his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time. Lauren writes, "Why Sam? I have many distant relatives I've never met. After all, Granny had sisters and Granddad had a brother or two. But I was told to trim their branches from the tree. So why is Sam special? Nothing adds up. And I'm not the only one to realize. Angie summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwen's in Paris, but the rest of us, including the Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's wedding party last year. At the reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands. E.C. and John when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Upon hearing that, Zach checked the records, mentioned from all 3 are on the books. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother, even chimed in. Apparently, he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago. Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. None of us think that for proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli certainly seemed thrilled. At the end of the day, nothing explains why an outsider has cozied into family affairs, especially one who works on a farm of all places. Whatever happened to blood is thicker than syrup? Why is Granddad making an exception now? Also, I need that list of names again. Clancy. There's 2 Clancys. Anyway, there was a little bit of information right here. Eli, Miracle's youngest, Miracle's boys, Eli, board. Huh. Okay, I thought I had something. I have something. I do have something. I just don't know what I have. Oh, there's 2 Eli's here. Miracle's youngest, not my brother. Okay. Elias, Junior, C, and M. So there are 3 Eliases that I don't know of. One is Miracle's child, however that delineates, and one is her brother. Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy. Patricia? Patricia? Oh, why would you do this to me? But, Patsy. Short for Patricia. Save note. Hey, what's up, Null? We are doing genealogy. Okay. Holy fuck. 16 clues? Oh my. Okay. Clark is getting married and he's too young. He's barely 18, and Danielle isn't much older. Okay, so Clark Rafferty got married to Danielle Franks. But he got married at 16. Clark, like the rest of his generation, is a free spirit. What else do you call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend? They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. Only one who has any discipline is Carl. But that's because Pop forced Clancy to send him out to the academy. Maybe I'm getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seemed to pursue paths of knowledge, and the most rebellious thing any of us ever did was bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Someone got married to... someone had an interracial marriage. That is how I assume this to be, either interracial or a gay marriage. No, given the times, it was probably interracial. It is early for me. Pop seemed to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department once he retires. As for me, my first published book, Swashbuckle My Heart, is based on a pirate story I used to vent with Jacob. When we were walking in the woods after school. I think he'd be proud that Clark and I are carrying on his name. Even my cousins are doing well. Zach's not a bad president after all, and his sister seems to be doing good raising her twins. Gwen is Gwen. But at least she came out of the divorce with her head held high. She even told some of us she might come home next year so we can meet her kids. But the Free Spirits and any other family, they'd all end up at the streets. Even Clark. So there's a lot of information here, and I don't necessarily know what everything is, but this is a treasure trove. All right, so I recall that we got this, and I said Paris, and I saw Free Spirits. Here's a photo. This photo has a note attached from your employer. Here's a bonus. When I pulled the water damaged picture of the Free Spirits out of the frame, this fell out too. Written on the back of the photo is couldn't make the reunion. Wishing you well from Paris. Gwen and the boys. Oh, we have an alternate photo for Gwen. And her children. I don't know who is who. Okay. Free Spirits. Story so far. The Free Spirits. This photo has a note attached from your employer. Every 20 or so years, the Roottrees would hold a big reunion and recreate an old family photo. This is the photo from the 70s with Carl's teenager in the middle. That's Carl Roottree. Carl is the teenager in the middle. Feel good about that. Oh, I am going to have so much fun filling in all of these alternate photos. Oh man, this is going to be... this is going to be so much fun. Sorry about the water damage. Oh, right up in there. A pipe burst at Carl's office. And childish writing, it says November. Also, a large cursive signatures include Bonnie, next president Guy Hudson, Ernie Jr., Carolyn, Gwyneth M., Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr., Jim Roottree, Clark, Carl, and Eli M. Okay, someone is pregnant here. And this is probably Eli. Hi, thank you for that. Explicitly, this is going to be important right there. This is probably one of those. This is probably the result of that south of Pennsylvania thing. I recognize this tie. That is this guy's tie. So this is This is one of the miracles. And this is another miracle. So... this is Miracle Jr. This is Miracle Jr. I guarantee you this is Miracle Jr. Evidence. Loose threads. Miracles wear rainbow ties. Anyway, says November. Childish writing in it. It says November. Is there a November name? November root tree. Ooh, 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 ooh. I've got some context clues. The most any of the family did was bring home someone that was had a the most anything that Lauren's family did rebellious wise was bring someone home illegal to marry south of Pennsylvania. And at that time, pulling into history and racism, interracial marriage was frowned upon south of Mason and Dixon. I have a mixed child right here. This is November. And there are so many threads that I can pull on right now. Oh, and it even shows me how many, oh my god, 5 pieces is getting bigger and bigger. What am I missing from Roottrees? Jim Roottrees, probably. Ernie Jr. Seeing the man Carl and his cousin Ernie Jr. Second cousin. Second cousin means great-grandparents, but not the same grandparents. Great-grandparents, but not the same grandparents. Ernie Jr. Ernie Jr. Not over there. Ernie Jr. over here. Oh, we still have one more notable root tree to go through. We still have to find Miracle Jr.
Oh my.
Oh, game, you are so clever. Oh, game, you are so clever. Look at that. Oh, they made red root tree a red herring. Oh, that is so funny. Anyway, ooh, Miracle. I just discovered something. Miracle Jr. is a notable person. We only have one notable person that I do not know the identity of. Right over here. This is Miracle. I don't know which miracle, but this is a miracle. This is another miracle. This entire line is probably the Miracle Roottrees. I wonder, really quick. Periodical starlet. Gem. Huh, okay. I feel good about getting that information. Shiva candle. Tucked inside an envelope with a letter beneath the candle in the corner of an office. Letter says, to Carl and Brenda, I am sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral. It is tradition to have it as soon as possible, and Ernie, more than anyone on earth, knew how busy your job can be. I've enclosed the Shiva candle identical to ours if you'd like to pay your respects, though I'd not expected from those outside the faith to do so. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but also his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work that you three did together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. Ernie is the third president. Okay. Dux, I really, really, really hope that we can that you can get your eyesight fixed as well as possible. But I am very glad that you have eyesight. Yes, monocle. As for myself, it is impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Though we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list, the company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. It went unsaid at the time, but Ernie and I knew that it had to be Carl that convinced the trust, and that it was no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visits, Brenda. Until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. We could never have done that much without the two of you fighting for us. Much love, Debbie. Debbie and Debbie and Ernie are married. This is Carl, Roottree, Carl and Brenda. So these are alternate pictures of the children. So given how old she is, I am going to assume that this is Raina. Ooh, I really want to click some people into place. Oh, buddy, I really want to click some people into place. So I don't know. Just got some pictures from there. So this is Lauren's diary contains some label paper. This is the 5 pieces. Famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. This is Sam. This is Sam back here. Ooh, buddy. Ooh, buddy, that's Sam. No idea who Sam is. This picture was famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. Far left, far left. Look at that handsome devil. And there was a note. Where is it? I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left, since to me, he looked a lot like Pop, but I was outvoted. Eli. Okay. There are a couple of Elias. Yeah. Too many Elis to narrow it down. And also, I don't know who the rest of the siblings are over here. Anyway, let's go back to this picture. Even had it framed. That's him on the left. It was taken in 35 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. had designed. I think that's Eli right there. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo, since Miracle was in it, and the three of us were all about the same age. We were only told only the 5 pieces, which really didn't go over well, to say the least. Eventually, I suppose, to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Borden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. I found out years later that they never took a second photo. Oh, that's a dick move. Anyway, Miracle is the same age, and they were children having temper tantrums. So I assume that this child with the eye patch is a Miracle. Probably due to how he's a Miracle. So we are going to call this Miracle. So he is Miracle. Unknown occupation. And then we know that this is the Miracle line. Hold on. I know who the notable person is. Miracle Jr. So this is Miracle Jr. This is Miracle the Third. God, look at those hair. Look at that 70s hairdo. Yes, I am very confident in those pictures, because of the tie right there, and then what was the other one? Right here. He's in the back right there. This is a young Miracle. Also, I didn't think it fair Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. He's old. He's old. Yes. Okay. Boom. That made it. That makes a lot of sense. This leap of logic is very good. Wait. No. No. That's young Miracle. That's young Miracle Jr. Once you verify, it'll add bonus photos. Okay. I swear to God. I swear to God. So we've clicked on everything except for this. Vote for Stephanie Jones. Oh my God. This was buried under a ton of mail that Carl left in his inbox. Handwritten note attached to a personal flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back of it, an excerpt from the newspaper article in the Country Bar. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional, to say the least, but in her world was still full of love. Now, 22 years later, a baby of her own due around Christmas. The message for voters: love is our future. Handwritten note says, Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflict spread to the next generation. CM. List the names. Carolyn? Anyway, there was some information. Mr. Morton was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Okay. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. I still don't know which one of these this guy looks like. Or is this child. I feel good about that. Anyway, now we've got to go over to notables. Wow, Lauren, you were a treasure trove. Solved, but who is Bill? Solved. Miracle Jr. Spider Search. Doesn't go by his full name in promotional materials. Instead, he has shortened it to Miracle Jr. Is a televangelist who is part of the fucking hell. Part of the Miracle Network. Used to have his show that aired on local access across many stations in the northeastern, according to a website called Clergy Watch. Is exposed and subsequently charged with conspiracy to defraud the public in '79, where he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. News expose revealed that his wife it was his wife Edith in a disguise. The author didn't mention that Edith had a bit of a checkered path herself, but doesn't clarify. He has since lost his television and instead goes on tours across Southern United, where he is not well known before the scandal. Website for the Miracle Network, production company running Miracle Roottrees Estate. Quite bare bones, but it has the following blurb. Witness testimonies from the Miracle's Roottree. Miracle Roottrees arrived so late in his mother's life that doctors swore she wouldn't survive the first year. His mother and father, Elias and Gwyneth, named him Miracle because they thought him impossible. He was younger than his brothers and sisters by over 14 years. With a birth that late, final child of his generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems. That's probably why he has the eye patch. He's probably blind in that other picture, but still with the power of God on his side, he persevered. He triumphed over these complications, even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. 23 years, Miracle Roottrees Jr. arrived, became famous as the family's second vessel for the higher power. At 18, he unburdened himself from the Roottrees name, took up his father's testimony to a whole new level by the power of television. Miracle Jr. spread the gospel across the entirety of New England. He has since left the life of glamour and glitz to reach those he needs most. Our Lord's come to you. Flames a blurb about the tire, which is now in your evidence. Witness the power of the Lord in the summer of '96. 3 generations of miracles on tour, featuring testimony from world-famous Miracle Jr., special appearance of Miracle Richard in his 68th year on God's earth. Children, now welcome, celebrate with your pastor Miracle III and his wife Nicole. A flyer with the Junior Miracle Jr. Miracle the Third and his wife. Okay, we can fill in Miracle now. So let's. That is Miracle. He is a preacher. Let's. Oh! Ah! Oh, this is just satisfying. So we have more Miracle photos. So I am going to I just love the old-timey photo. Which was it? It's that one. And this is that guy. You are also a preacher, and your wife is Nicole. Nicole Smith, Nicole Madsen. We're gonna leave that for later. Hello, Miracle. Take that. All right. So I've got to get on with the rest of my day, and I feel really happy about what I just did. It seems like there's some more information that we can find out about here. This Clark entry is still really hilarious. We could probably pull on that a little bit. 5 pieces add. Loose threads. 5 pieces, yes. Delete miracles wear rainbow ties. Delete cousin Ernie Jr., president before Carl. So that means not same grandparents. Really? Okay. Miracle Jr. Let's just do a quick search really quick on Clergy Watch. Okay, so it just brings up Clergy Watch. I feel completely reasonable to just kill this page, because this is for... No, we need it for Miracle's wife, and we still need it for the wives. This is going to be for the wives. We still need to figure out who their wives are. Okay. I do like how I picked up on the rainbow, the rainbow ties. That felt really good. Okay, this is the 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the next generation. And these are all the free spirits. The generation after Lauren's, including her son, who we know is Clark, but I know nothing about him. No, I feel really good about this game. I am having a fantastic time. And this is... There are so many different threads that I can pull on. So many different threads that I can pull on. And so many different things that we can figure out. There's a mystery here. Who the hell is Sam? What is the... who the hell is Sam? What's this discrepancy with the dates? Oh man, this is a great game. This is a great game. Oh man, I want to play for more, but I don't have much more brain power. Also, I need to go to a work meeting. It's the annual meeting for my company. They're going to feed me and then give out free shit. Also, I might win a vacation. Yay. I hope I do, because this job sucks. It pays my bills. No, again, this is a fantastic game. And that's not, I'm just gonna kill that. So there's another picture of Diamond LaRue. There's another picture of James. There's pictures. We need to find a picture of Clark Rafferty. We probably already have it. We just don't have any idea that it's him. These pictures being Miracle Jr., Old Man Miracle, Young Man Miracle, and then Miracle in the 5 pieces ad. I like that. The information about Gwen was amazingly awesome. We need to... There are so many different things that we can pull on next time. This is a great game. So yeah, with that, I hope that you all are enjoying this. I hope my commentary has been acceptable. I thank you all for coming out, hanging out, and having a good time. And please, there seems to be so much more of this game to discover. And so many different ways we could have gotten to the information that we did. Could we have just gone straight down the list and Googled all of those names? Excuse me. Probably. Also, what I'm going to do, really quick, Riot's Girl. Subgenre of pulp, start getting in Olympia, Washington, when fuming at its set balloon from there. But of course, you know, after all, you have a poster on your wall. I like that. I like that a lot. Anyway. Alphabet Davis. Huh. Oh my god. I can adjust the volume like this. Oh, great password right there, guy. Also, really talented to do a double star on an Etch-a-Sketch. Excuse me. Anyway. Whew. Okay. Please, if this game interests you, I encourage you to play it for yourself. It's like $15 on Steam. I'm certainly getting my money's worth. There are probably a million different directions that we could have gotten all of that information up on that board so far. So, yeah, no, this game is great. I'm having an absolutely fantastic time with this, and I hope to continue having a fantastic time with all of you. I am going to get out of here and get ready for the rest of my day, which will include the night shift. But I'm glad I found a game to play. And I will see you all later. Thank you so much for coming on in and hanging out and being really, really chill guys. We'll see you again sometime, all right? Stay tuned for Aloe in more than a little while. But be good to each other, guys. Stay safe. Have fun. Hail Cargonia.
Hold on.
Land of stolen things, obey the quartermaster, unless he's a ling. Miners don't die today. Cargo text push freight. Our enemies in disarray. All hail
get back to work.